Okay, hi everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me. Maybe I would be happy if you could just say a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Hi, Kara. Hi, Alice. Thank you so much for coming to this talk. So, I hope you enjoyed listening to the pieces of suggestions we had with regards to breaking the STEM barrier with to communities that do not have access to internet. So I'll be happy to hear your thoughts, suggestions, or even questions if you have any. So if there's any question or something clarification you need, I'm happy to address that. Hi, Phoebe. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Alice has a question. Do you think the people who you communicate with, SMS, pen drives, posters, do you think they would be interested in citizen science? Yeah, I think so. Um, yeah, sure. So WPSYG, we already have a community and we engage a lot of people through some of these mediums that we have suggested. So sure, if you have an event or something that you want to engage them, we could sort of collaborate and then link them up to the like our own community and see those who are interested. But I'm sure that this would be something they would be interested in. Yeah, sure. Okay, Kara says, I think several things you discussed are also relevant to parts of the developed world. The move to everything behind online leaves behind digitally excluded populations in developed countries as well. Okay, yeah. 80,000 students in NZ lack devices or internet access pre COVID-19, and many still do. Old fashioned posters Old-fashioned posters when schools are open are still a good tool for promotion. Yeah, I agree with you that this is not something that is just with the developing countries, but um, something that also affects some parts of the developed world for people who don't actually have access to these devices. So we could adopt these measures to other parts of the world where we think that they do not have access to internet or cannot even afford a digital device. So it will be a great way to also adapt these suggestions to other places as well. Yeah. So I agree with you, Kara. Yeah, that's right. How would you suggest prioritizing what information is put on the USB stick? So I think that the USB sticks, for instance, most often have sizes. So we have like the 8 GB, we have 12 GB, 16 GB. I don't think there's one that probably has like 1 TB that can take a whole lot of information. So instead of populating it with, let's say, very long videos, like for instance, the entire Finding Ada conference is all over 29 hours. And so recording all of the videos and then putting it on the pen drive may seem a bit practically impossible. So it would probably be better that you could take highlights of the session, the whole session. So, for instance, finding at that conference, we could make a very short video that would be about 5 minutes, where we touch on the very important or key takeaways and then can put them on the pen drive, right? So, I think that it largely would depend. We just have to choose what is important, very important to put on them because we also dealing with space. So we need to, it's more like an optimization problem. Yeah. So creation of information like librarians do. Yeah, something like that. I think that should help. But I think that when it comes to probably uploading PDFs, if they are not very large PDFs that are heavy, it's easy to put a lot of PDF stuffs to read on rather than videos. So I would suggest that we do more of that. So for instance, in to make them even sort of get a full flare of the entire conference, like finding at that, instead of uploading the videos per se, we rather could prepare a report that could be about 3 to 5 pages long, which shouldn't be so heavy to put on a pen drive and then share across to them. I think this should work. We could also put them in posters as well. Yeah. Okay, so Tia is asking, if you got a large sum of funding tomorrow, what would be the first thing you would use it for? Okay. I think the main goal for my association, Women Promoting Science to the Younger Generation, is to get more young girls and, of course, boys too as well in STEM. And so our main focus is just to ignite their interest. And what we have identified over some years now is that for most young people, they tend to look at the STEM courses as being more like too theoretical and something that they can't easily practice, right? So we more interested in organizing events that would seek to bring the connection of the practicality of most of the STEM courses that they do, for instance, like math, because most of us are mathematicians. So create that connection of the STEM courses, the theoretical to the practical world, to let them see the essence of it and let them understand that they can actually put to use all the things they learn. So we'd be interested in organizing trainings that would expose them to the applications of most of the STEM things that we do. So for instance, even in science, chemistry, biology, most of the students that we deal with do not have sort of labs that allows them practice what they learn in class. So everything seems to be theoretical. So yes, sure, would want to organize training that would give students the more hands-on experience when it comes to most of the STEM areas. So this would be what we as an association would use any large sum of funding that we have to do to organize trainings like this so that students can connect their theories of science and maths and STEM courses to the real world. And that generate and make them more interesting. So I hope that answers the question for you, Tia. Okay. Sandy says I haven't been able to get into any stream Q&As. Maybe I don't know if someone could probably answer Sandy. I don't know what the problem is. Phoebe, sorry for the. Phoebe says, how is the best way to keep up with what progress is going on in the places where WPSYG is formed? Is there a follow-up plan? Okay, so we like currently I'm in my talk, I mentioned that we currently have members in Cameroon, in Ghana, in Senegal. So what we doing is to establish like team leads in all of these countries, so that because I am in Ghana and I cannot be at the same time in Cameroon and in Senegal. So normally we have people who are the team leads who take charge of the local events in that countries. And we have a centralized page where we have all the team leads again who give us the information as to what is happening in their respective countries. So that's how we keep up. And also we make use of the Slack. So we have a Slack channel where we have created different workplaces on Slack for all the groups that we have. So aside having the members in each of the respective countries, we also do have different groups that you can be part of. So we have people who are part of the writing and communication, those who are part of the advertisement, those who are part of the event organization. So the chats usually go on Slack where everyone can be part, and given that Slack can have as many people as possible. So that's how we use to keep informed on what is going on. Yeah. Okay, so Okedia, I don't know if I got the pronunciation of the name right, but I'm wrong in case I did not. Okay, so here in Albania, we're trying to promote incentive discussion around women in STEM. One of the things I have found difficult to do is engaging young women already in STEM to be promoters and joining the discussion. Any tips on how to better approach them? Well, I think that for us, what we have probably seen is that, or we have encountered, is that we get a lot of the women who are already in STEM willing to share their experience with other young people. So, with regards to what is happening in Albania, I think that probably if you could sort of let them, I don't know how STEM has been in Albania, because here in Africa, it looks like we always have very few women in the area, and for the few who have risen to the tops, have always had people who have encouraged them, and so they usually see it as a way of giving back to their community. So normally they are willing to come forward and also promote STEM. So I think that it would probably depend. I don't know what's happening in Albania. Maybe if it's that people had it more, we have women already there who are in STEM and did not get people who motivated them. So they don't feel the urge to give back to their communities. And that would mean that you have to talk to them to see that even though you think you did not benefit from someone encouraging you into the area, but there are young people who get motivated by these things, and there are a lot of resources that are available that can tell us actually how mentorship is important. So you probably will have to talk to these people to see the importance of mentorship and also sharing their own life experiences with the young people. And more probably, I think we are human to some extent. They would get to understand and would want to also get involved. Yeah, and you could also give some. Okay, so you could also give some thought on how their own experiences can help shape others. So everyone wants to make an impact. So once they see that what they're doing is making an impact, then yeah, people would be interested to help. So I think my time is almost up. I would have really wished to answer the remaining questions, but we'll have to go. So maybe I'll just leave. You can contact me on Twitter or LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to continue the discussions. Thank you so much for everyone for attending this session, and see you in the main session for the next talk. Thank you.